Organization. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first order of business is 3.0 is roll call of school board members. Everybody's here, so we'll go to 4.0, which is oath of office. So before we do that, certainly welcome to the two new school board members, Amanda Holwiger and Josh. I'm going to try to say your last name, Perkowitz. Yep. So welcome. I think how we'll do it, I know you guys already went through and signed your oaths of office. We did this the last time we brought on new board members. So if you two want to just unmute yourselves and starting with the word having, just repeat those words so that the general public knows what you guys have signed. I'll give it to you guys.
Say it together.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Having
signed the acceptance of office and oath of office, I hereby publicly affirm my commitment to the oath of office. I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and I will discharge faithfully
the duties. Sorry.
I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District 595 to the best of my judgment and ability.
All right, thank you, and welcome again to both of you. Moving on to 5.0, it's elections of officers. So for the two new individuals, the way we'll do this is we'll utilize parliamentary procedure rules. The first thing we'll do is we'll elect a board chair. So the rules are you can't nominate yourself. So I'll call for three nominations. If for some reason, if somebody Eric nominates Josh and he's the only one after that third one, what I'm looking for is just a motion for a white ballot. We'll vote on that. If there's two or three or more for an individual office, then we'll have to vote, and we'll do roll call voting on that. So the first one is the election of the board chair. I was the board chair in 2022, so I will entertain motions for board chair for 2023.
I nominate Brandon Baselug for board chair 2023.
I'll second.
No, you don't need any seconds. So we're just and so we'll just go through. So okay, so any other nominations? One last time for nominations for board chair. Okay, I guess with that being said, I'd be looking for a white ballot.
Emotional white ballot.
Okay, Amanda motions a white ballot.
I'll second.
Second, any discussion? All right, motion passes. I appreciate it, everybody, and I guess that means I keep plugging away. Next, 5.2 is the election of board vice chair. Last year that was Matt Foss. Matt Foss was replaced in 2023, so I will entertain motions for board vice chair. And feel free, new members, if you have any questions on what the roles are, by all means, let's have that discussion. If there's,
What are the rules of the vice president?
so the vice chair, basically, I'll speak as myself now as the chair, but the vice chair certainly handles any meetings that I can't be at. But more so the vice chair and the chair. How do I speak to this? There's many more meetings other than committee meetings. So vice chair and the chair are the ones kind of the right hand, or the superintendent's kind of their right hand. So if there's board business that happens, or potential board business, it'll go first to the chair and the vice chair to at least have that discussion to decide, is this actually board business or is this something that needs to be related? Mike, do you have a better example? I don't know how. I mean, sometimes we're really busy, sometimes not at all. It just depends what's going on.
Yeah, the biggest thing for the vice chair would be able to replace the chair if they're absent.
Yeah, and that's the duties when you look at the statute. It merely talks about replacing, or the statute and then the policy that we've adopted, replacing the chair in his or her absence.
Oh, okay.
But more so, it's lots of meetings depending. So
Okay.
how about I will entertain motions for vice chair.
I nominate Lynn Brat for vice chair.
Okay, nominations for vice chair second time. Well, I'll say third. Maybe I can stop at second if I'm not getting that any seconds, but any third for vice chair? Okay. I will entertain a motion for unanimous ballot then or white ballot.
I move for the white ballot for Lynn Brott.
Can I second my own?
No, I'll
That's
second
what I
it.
was gonna say. I don't think I could.
All right, white ballot's passed. Lynn, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Well, you're already aboard, but well.
Yeah.
Welcome to that.
Okay, so next is the election of the board clerk. I want to have a little bit of discussion on the board clerk. Lindsay was board clerk in 2022. The way we have the board clerk working right now is when I first got on the clerk, the clerk has to be elected official. However, we have Nancy acting on the clerk's behalf. Nancy doesn't sign anything, but she's taking notes and things of that nature. So we can go back to the way it used to be. Nancy, if you say I don't want to come to meetings anymore, we certainly can do that. But I didn't have an opportunity to call you and I wanted to wait to see what the elections of officers, but certainly on the feelings of this board, we can go either which direction. So it's worked very good since we've been doing it, the last year, because Nancy may get something that the clerk has to address or has to be sent to the chair for signature. She can get all that done and then just pass it on. So it's done quickly. I think it works well, but certainly with two new board members, I wanted to bring that up to see what the thoughts are. No thoughts?
I would find either way if it
Okay.
ends up being me again.
All right. So with that being said, I will open nominations for board clerk.
I nominate Lindsay King.
Okay, second nomination. A third nomination. Okay, I guess we need another white ballot.
I'll move for a white ballot.
Okay, Lindsay, welcome aboard. Rebecca aboard. 5.4 is election of the board treasurer. Eric, if you want to just explain to the group what your role has been as treasurer the last couple of years.
You can sign certain documents, really do a thorough review of the checks that go out. And really just be there for the finance staff if there's any questions or anything needed from the finance staff or administration.
So as you guys will see, or it may be, it's up in board book, I believe, but there's a finance committee, but it's not, we don't do a finance committee of just 3 people. It's a committee of the whole. So
Mhm.
Eric handles that. He makes the decisions if it should come up as to the committee of the whole, or they call him and say, what should we do here?
Mhm.
I not aware of a lot of happenings
Yeah.
we've had to do with that, but
Nope.
with that short synopsis of the role, I'll entertain a motion for nominations for board treasurer.
I'll nominate Eric Useldinger for treasurer.
And I guess what I should have been doing is every time somebody's nominating is asking if they want to do it. So, or at least after the white ballot, ask if they want to
Is
accept.
that a hint that we should have
Yeah.
asked you? if
Yeah,
you wanted to
nobody asked
be
me.
the
So, calling for second nominations. And third nominations. Okay, vote is closed. I'll move for a white ballot.
I'll second.
All right, with that being said, officers are in place, so we're gonna move to 6.0 is to designate the official depositories. So this is something that we do annually. US Bank, Grand Forks, of East Grand Forks, Franzen Bank and Trust, the MSD LAF and Ultimate Bank. And then TD Ameritrade, we opened one of those accounts. Amanda here, Mike, a couple years ago.
A couple years ago. Yeah.
So I just need somebody to motion for that, please.
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
Fuller with motion, Useldinger. Questions or discussion on the depositories? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 7.0 is to designate legal counsel. The past several years, we've utilized Rep Anderson, Squires, Walsberger, Mace. I think they keep adding to it.
And Rupp is retired, but he's still on there. So
He's still collecting checks.
yeah.
But been doing a very good job, I guess, when we need them. So I'm in a motion to to continue designation with them as our, as the school's, legal firm.
I'll second.
We want to have a discussion, or Mike, you want to, since we have two new board members, explain a little bit of what our legal
Yeah.
team.
We prefer not to use legal team, but there are times when we have to, and it could be with personnel, it could just be with documents we need, it could be for elections, those type of things where we try to use MSBA first because we pay a fee for the school board association, but they give us legal opinions, but they always say, check with your legal counsel. So we use them when needed at the discretion of the administration, sometimes after discussions with the board chair or the vice chair.
Any other questions on the legal counsel? All right, all those in favor of accepting the firm signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 8.0 is to designate the official newspaper. Exponent's the only newspaper in East Side and has been an official newspaper for several years, so I'll make the motion to designate them.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, next one's a long one, designate signature authorizations. Suppose we can read, I can read through all this, but I'm gonna motion. K-12 petty cash treasurer is gonna be Yusel Dinger, Mike Holness, Amanda Scanson, and Carla Afshari. Sorry, Carla, if I butchered it. K-12 transfers, basically same thing. K-12 transfers from the savings and checking to payments for the monthly board bills, the same. K-12 CDs, the same. K-12 activity accounts, the same. So all the same individuals, just adding Eric to continue on as the treasurer. So did I make a motion? Yeah, I did. So I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Basewood, second by Hole. Are there any questions or discussion on signature authorizations? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 10.0 is to establish the school board meeting times and dates. In 2023, we changed it up a little bit. We used to do 2 meetings every single month. We changed it to 1 meeting and a second meeting if necessary. I think personally, my perspective is it worked really well, but I'm open to board discussion. If we want to go back to the 2 meetings by all means, but sometimes more than sometimes that second meeting is a lot of us just having a meeting to have a meeting. So open to discussion.
I would say it worked well. I mean, as long as from the district perspective, they're still able to pay everything on time and.
Yeah, for the
payers-
most part, it's been good. If we needed a meeting, we had that. The one thing I would like to probably recommend is that, we designate the second Monday and then designate the fourth Monday as a regular meeting date if needed.
Okay,
Because I think this year we had to post them as special meetings. And when we posted them as special meetings, then you can't adjust your agenda.
oh, okay.
You can't add to the agenda. So Nancy, that's the way it was this year, right? For that second, if we needed it. But that would be my recommendation is, we're always going to meet that first or that second Monday, but then designate the fourth Monday as a regular meeting date if, like I said, if needed.
Yeah, and then we can add things.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What our downfall last year, if we did have a second meeting, it's whatever we were addressing is.
You couldn't add to the agenda, right?
Citizen comments. So yeah, I'd be fine with that. So
So essentially schedule 2 meetings and cancel one if we don't need it.
Right.
That worked. I thought it.
okay, so who's gonna,
I'll make a motion.
okay,
I'll second.
are we clear? Do I want to, or Nancy, you want to repeat that?
Does that make sense?
And the 1 meeting a month worked very well.
Yeah.
And it was, if there was district business that needed to take place, we were able to do that. And we still might have to have special meetings because it might not fit on the
Yeah.
fourth Monday, but at least we have that date.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure.
perfect.
Well, that way we can adjust if need be. So especially if there's more than one issue. Any other discussion on board meeting times and dates? Is the time 5:30 still work for everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, and as needed. I mean, if we need to adjust, thankfully, I think in 22, I don't think we didn't adjust any meetings in the morning, did we?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. So, okay. Well, with that being said, I'm not gonna reread the motions. So all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 11.0 is to establish school board compensation. In 2023, the rate of school board, the compensation was $5,800 for the year. So I guess I'll entertain a motion in a second and then we can discuss if needed.
I'd move to keep the compensation of 5,800 a year for 2023.
A second.
And Amanda seconds. Any discussion or questions regarding that? Okay. All those in favor of setting 2023 school board compensation to 5,800 signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, 12.0. I'm gonna try to get through this one as fast as I can. But we need to talk about what each one is. So this is to establish committee assignments and the MSHL representative. So I'm gonna go through these. And does everybody have it in board book or have a list?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a list of the ones I want.
It's on.
Okay,
line.
so let's talk through the first one. And I guess the way that when I started and we can have conversations, typically the board chair will read the committee. We'll talk about who was on the committee, see if anyone wants to get off the committee or if there's openings to get on the committee, but we can wheel and deal it if need be. So the first one is insurance and benefits. So last year that was myself, Matt Foss. So there's an opening and Eric. And now that one ties directly in, even though we have them labeled as two on here. The first two, insurance and benefits and salary negotiations, are virtually the same committee. We've always
Have been, yeah.
yeah, it's at least since I've started. Because it
Kind of goes hand in hand.
yeah, it ties into everything. When you're negotiating with the group, you're looking at some of their benefits as well. So we have an opening on there. If don't have to make motions. We're just gonna talk and we're gonna fill these things, and Nancy's gonna try to keep up because I'll get it wrong on my sheet anyway.
I'd be willing to stay on that committee.
Yeah, I'd like to be on there.
I'd like to stay on the negotiations for one more year anyway. But what with that being said, I'd like to the way that when I first got on negotiations, when I was a new board member, I wasn't on those, and the board chair at the time mentored me in a sense. So even though I wasn't on those negotiations, we typically don't have three members at the meetings. So the board chair would call and say, "Hey, Brandon, do you want to come and listen to this and watch this?" So that would be my intent, is to stay on. But we have several negotiations that individuals have to recuse themselves from. So there'll certainly be wiggle room. So anybody else want to be on that? Eric and I mean, we don't want to get off of it, but
Yeah, I'll be on that, or I'd like to be,
okay.
please.
Careful what you wish for. No, I'm just kidding.
I will tell you, this is the busiest committee. Well, it depends. I guess it depends, but it can get really busy and some of them can go really well. Anybody else? I mean, if certainly if you want to be on a committee, feel free to speak up and we can have that conversation.
We do this every year,
Yep.
committee assignments,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. Like Brandon said, most of the time it's usually one or two of us that can make it to the negotiations. So we're more than willing to call and offer whomever else, maybe not on the committee, but still show up to negotiations.
And it just hasn't been that way in the past, because the three of us that have been on negotiations for a while, we would just talk through it. Now, the same thing would happen if Lynn's the one here, but let's use Eric, for example. Eric's gonna have to recuse himself from one. So I would just bring in another
Yeah.
board member to show, number one,
Mhm.
show how the process works, but number two, to even be involved in that. We just need to make sure there's only three board members there. Otherwise it becomes a public meeting.
I could be like a fill-in.
Yeah, and I guess we've never had that. So,
Okay.
and Josh, from your perspective, if there's something that you.
I would like to be a part of it too at some
Okay.
point.
Well,
in time,
yeah,
or
he can
something.
do it then. He can be a fill-in.
Well, no, I think what I'd like to do, because it was done for me, and as we transition, this is the last year that I'd like to be on it, but with new board members, I'd like to at least mentor to bring on board. So then, yeah, I got one more year after next year, and then we'll see what my thoughts are after that, but at least say, okay, Amanda, you say, yeah, I want to be on it.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I've gone through it, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna if everyone's okay with it, I'll fill it with Baselud, Brat and Dinger, but also the two new board members to basically be meant to be on that or fillers. And I think this year, maybe, why don't we try to do this for all these committees to have alternates, if you would. You know, a lot of the committees, some committees meet a lot, some don't hardly meet. But we've been in past committee meetings as of late, where some of the feedback that we're getting is, welcome, there's only one board member here.
Mhm.
So I think if the board's okay with this, let's at least label Nancy, if we just put to the side alternates. I don't think there's anything against statute that says we can't do that. Is there, Mike? I couldn't find anything.
Just can't have more than 3 in a meeting.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna repeat that.
We could rotate all we want to. Okay, next is policy review. Policy review last year was Brat, Foss, and Pache. So there is two openings on there. Lynn, maybe you want to describe what policy review is to the new board members?
Sure, we literally go through the policy to see if the language applies to our school district, if we want to adopt it or not.
I would love to be on
Okay,
that.
you're on it. So we got, Lynn, are you still?
Yeah, that's
interested?
fine.
Okay, Lynn, Olwiger, anybody else? Again?
If you, I mean, I can do it if you need a third. I just would probably drop something. I have, I think, 9 or 10 that was on that.
What I'm gonna do is let's put King on there with the circle, and as we go through, we still might have to adjust. Next is meet and confer. Last year was Foss, King, Pache. Lindsay, I don't know, did you guys meet last year?
We did not, no, we didn't.
Okay,
have
so
to meet.
I will,
Wait a minute, was there one that I missed?
Yeah, but by, statute or meet and confer should meet 4 times a year. And, it's going to depend though if they have any concerns to bring forward. So actually right now we have not met this year. They're restructuring with their committee, but we're scheduled to meet, I believe, on the 9th of January.
so for new board members, I've sat on meet and confer in the past, and that's where they will bring, I don't want to say complaints, but issues. There may be, maybe.
It's a good time for the board to have discussions with, members of labor groups to talk about concerns that, they have a process that they follow where they check with their administrators for up to 3 times, I believe it is. And if they're not addressed the way, they feel it's not getting resolved, then it would go to the building level. They have a meet and confer committee with the teachers, and then they have a district committee. And then we meet with the district committee.
So Lindsay, you still want to be on that?
I would,
I like to be on that.
Okay, Josh?
I would like to stay on it, but if I have too many and somebody, that's okay too. And if I do policy and not meet and confer, that's fine. I like meet and confer, but
Okay, so Josh and Lindsay, anybody else?
I'd be on it.
Okay. And then Josh, and I'll probably say these in a couple as we go, because, well, depending on how the vote goes, but I'm sure it's gonna go well. Because as a coach, that's part of the teacher's contract. So just, you could still be involved in those meet and confers, but just if there was any action, there's typically not action at a committee meeting.
Mhm.
But if there was any action, then you'd have to recuse yourself.
Yep.
From that, so.
I could be an alternate for that.
Okay. Yeah, let's see here. So Nancy, you capturing these? Cause I'm running out of room. Okay. Okay, next is school calendar, Brat, King and Pache.
I like this one. I want to stay with
I'd be
it.
willing to give this one up.
I'd be willing to go on it.
Okay, so it's looking like we got King. Olwiger. Again?
I can do it.
Josh, all right.
It's not-
And again, we don't need 3 people for every committee. So it's, we certainly want at least 2, but,
And if you can't make a meeting, you just let everybody know as long as there are 2. It's kind of works out usually, right?
Yeah.
transportation and vehicles, this one was King, Pache and Dinger. So Eric, you want to kind of explain that one?
Yeah, just meet with Mike and Debbie for the most part and just talk about needs for the upcoming year, or sometimes it's more immediate needs. If we have issues with breakdowns on buses or Suburbans, or they time out too.
Yeah, we'll discuss routes, if
Yeah.
if there are decisions about reducing routes or those kind of things, so. Doesn't meet that often.
Yeah,
Couple times. I'd stay on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is Eric.
I'll stay on too.
Okay, I need one more then. Anybody?
How about you?
Yeah, you know what? I'll go off that because I'm gonna jump, or I'll go on that. If nobody else is interested, I'll go on transportation because I'm gonna jump off the one coming down. Well, possibly, it depends.
Is that you?
Okay, next is long-term facilities. So that's Brought, King, and, oh, excuse me. Yeah, Brought, King, and Useldinger. Do we want to stay that way, or do we want to allow an opening for one of our new board members to get on there to be brought up to speed? That's a pretty aggressive committee, so.
I haven't been on that one that long. I'd like to stay on.
Okay.
I'll do either. I'll stay on, or if somebody else is interested, I'll give that one.
I'd like to stay on that one. I like that one.
Well, do we just want to do alternates, even though they haven't said anything? I'd certainly like to get at least one of the new board members
Yeah.
involved in that committee, somehow, at least as an alternate. So how that
Sure.
committee works is the facilities director will put together needs, but we also work with our consultant, or ICS on our long-term facility plan. So it has. The reason I want to get somebody at least started into it is because it keeps going. So as people phase out of the board, we gotta just make sure that we keep somebody on that.
If Josh doesn't want to be alternate, I will.
That's fine.
Okay,
So who is it?
so we'll do, it's gonna be Lynn, King, and Useldinger, and then Amanda will be the alternate.
Can you be on too many committees?
You know, you can be on every single one if you want. Yeah, but it's on there. Next is Education Foundation. Last year, that was myself and Pache. Education Foundation is we're ex officios, so we're not voting members. They were just here, last meeting or, yeah, last meeting. They do a lot of work with grants. They're taking over this, I believe they're taking over the scholarship committee now. So there's good conversation, again, not voting members, but when you're at the meetings, you're able to engage yourself in those conversations. From the board level, it has merely been, at least my role has been, they'll want to award something, then they'll ask, well, is this something that's budgeted? And I'll follow up with the superintendent. I will jump off of that one and allow somebody else to be on it.
I'll go on.
Okay.
That's on the list.
So we have Holwiger for the foundation, and anybody else?
I would join that one.
Lindsay? Okay, that's all we need is two for that one. So again, that's not, and you don't both need to be there. Tom and I would coordinate throughout the year. Sometimes we couldn't make it whatsoever. They have some different, they try to do meetings right after school sometimes. A lot of times they'll try to do meetings right after school, go on a board night.
How much heads up do you get on those meetings, or how,
They'll give-
are they like regular? Like
They're
every-
regular, but if they call one, they'll they get plenty of time.
Okay.
You know, a week in advance. Okay, next is Adopt a School. So we're just gonna kind of go through this. And last year, when we talk about Adopt a School, it's not really a committee. We just want a board member that's
Like a point person.
kind of the point of contact for that school. And if we have a new one, Josh, let's say you have one of the schools, if you decide that you want to do something that's never been done before, I mean, have at it. There's nothing saying what the board member that's attached to that school, the role's wide open. So let's go through it. And New Heights last year was,
Me, Lindsay King.
why am I missing? Oh, it's wrong on here. Okay, so Lindsay, do you want to
Lindsay.
still do that?
I would move schools. My kids are both out of New Heights. I don't mind. I could stay at New Heights too.
Which school do you want?
Is that you in here? Are you
Yeah,
moving?
She's moving the things.
Oh, don't confuse me.
I would, I guess I don't really care. I would go to South Point or middle school.
I'm fine
Okay,
giving
hang
up
on.
South Point,
Okay,
sorry.
so I'm gonna go in the order of my sheet here. Okay, so New Heights, who wants to do New Heights?
I'll take New Heights.
Okay.
All the kids are.
Holwiger's getting New Heights. South Point is who?
Did you say you'd give it up?
Yeah, give it up.
South Point's me.
Okay, South Point is Lindsay. Central Middle School.
That was used last year.
Yes, that was used last year.
I'll take that or the high school. It doesn't matter.
I'll take the high school.
Okay, Josh has got the high school.
We used since.
I'll stay middle school.
All right, good. We're done there. Finance Committee, that's the committee as a whole. World's Best Workforce, last year that was Brat and Pache. Len, you want to stay on that?
I could give that one up.
Okay.
I can go on that one.
I would too.
So it's
Everybody's good?
Josh,
Okay.
Amanda and.
I
or just
think,
Josh and Amanda.
sorry, you only need two for that, right? So Josh and Amanda for World's Best Workforce. Safety Committee. Last year it was Foss and King.
I can do that one.
I also wanted to do that one.
Lindsay, you want off? You're on a lot already.
Yeah, I could
so-
give that one up. Yep.
I was on that one too. I could stay.
Do we have three?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on it last year.
Okay. Okay, so the two new board members are on it. You two decide who you are, who between.
Well, we had
Lindsay-
three last time. So you, Josh and Amanda. I
Yep.
step off.
Oh, that's what I mean. You and Use decided who wants to step off. You're stepping
Oh,
off.
that's fine.
Lindsay.
I have a bunch, yeah.
Yeah,
If you
I'll stay
want-
on it.
If you want
That's
off,
fine.
okay.
So Amanda, Josh and Eric, for the Safety Committee. K-12 relicensure, that was just one.
That's me. And I would like to stay with that one just because I have learned a lot more about that one lately. So,
And I think there's nothing saying that we can't have more than one. I'm not familiar with that committee, so Lindsay, I know we have it. That's been your
that's been
stuff
me
in the
for a while.
past. So, if anybody else wants to jump on that, by all means. Okay.
I don't know what it is, to be honest.
It's talking about like teachers continuing ed and keeping up with their licensure and who is in charge of tracking that and submitting that and just different ways of doing that. And we're just trying to kind of introduce an electronic way of doing it. So
Okay.
So Ray, do you want more? Because I'm thinking that was just nobody else wanted to be on it. That's why. Lindsay was on it.
So you got me.
So how about this? Let's get at least two for this one.
I'll be on that, that's fine.
You worded it so nicely, Brandon.
Well, it might have been that last.
So many wanted to be on it. We could only let one.
Yeah. Or last year's board, just everyone had too many assignments.
Right.
School city liaison, that was me last year.
I thought it was me. No,
There's three.
oh, it's three of us.
There's three of us?
I can let that
There's
one go
one.
too.
I don't feel like I
Me,
ever was
Use
contacted.
and Brandon. No, Brat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, I think we're all school city liaisons. We've
Yeah.
never really had committee. From my perspective, I mean, we can still. I don't even think we should have it on as a committee.
Or just mark us all,
I would say
like it does for the
committee as a.
committee as a
whole.
whole.
Cool.
It's, I guess in the 6.5 years I've been here, it really hasn't,
No.
you know,
Then
we
a
haven't
committee,
really
like
had.
nothing's
No
ever
time
happened
to
with it,
commit.
right?
They'll,
Not that I
they'll
recall.
bring city folks here
Yep.
if need be, if we
Yeah.
have to, so for example, from the city, or excuse me, the school district's perspective, I guess you would say the board chair and the superintendent are kind of liaisons, like when we're renting the Civic and things like that, but let's just eliminate that one, because
Can we do that? Just eliminate it?
somebody made this well before us, so there's no requirements for them.
Yeah, it was not, it wasn't a meeting ever.
I mean, if they can reach out to any of us.
Sure.
And then the next one's the Minnesota,
Legislative liaison.
I'm sorry,
And that's-
legislative
Oh,
liaison.
you didn't do the high school.
didn't
do
representative, The Minnesota High School League.
That's coming. That's the last one, right? Or
Your guys'
Oh.
is a little bit different.
lists are different. Sorry,
Sorry.
I'll be quiet.
So legislative liaison, I've been doing that in the past as I was the chair. Somebody else is certainly welcome. I think you can put me down for that, but we're all gonna get repetitive emails because you'll get the emails because you've signed up, and then Mike makes sure that he reminds us
Mhm.
too. So we'll get a couple emails, and Josh and Josh and Matt, you may have already gotten those, but that's just following some of the legislative stuff. And then if we need to get involved at the legislative level. So, if the board's okay with it, put me down for that. But again, we're all really, if we need to get involved, we'll all be involved.
I'm good with you.
Mhm.
Okay, and then last is the Minnesota High School League representative. I'm not
that
sure.
Basically, what'll happen is we get, like, if there's something that needs action where the districts vote, you know, the administration gets one and then their rep from the school board would be a voting member. So if there's any information that flows through the league, we would have that come through with our designated school board member.
And I used to be on it. There was nothing that came up to vote. It was more that you got a magazine once a month and
I can do that.
I think we could put Josh down, but what we need to do is we need to reach out to make sure that
Oh,
he
because
would,
you're
he would
already.
be able to vote. So
Mhm.
I think let's do that, Mike, and just, it shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. As long as our vote goes through tonight, I don't see an issue with it, but if something does come up, then we'll address it at the next meeting. But
The advisory committee too.
Yep,
Doesn't have
and-
to be a board member on there.
So I think as Amanda just said, I talked to her today, and so before Amanda became an elected official, an advisory committee, and Soraya, please help describe it a little bit, was formed. Amanda was asked to be on it as a citizen. I told her, asked her today, let's mention that tonight. So now that she's on it as a board member, let's make it a board committee. So if you need more, so tell me what that's called.
Yeah, what is this?
So it's a district advisory.
Yep.
By statute, we need to have one, but for good practice, we need to have one to want our parents involved, to get their opinions on putting it forward on any curriculum instruction or any stuff that we're doing. And really, that's all related to all our plans. So we're the workforce, our achievement integration, adult programming, our EL program, all those programs that we have, right? We need parent input.
Okay.
So that's what that committee is about. So I would love another board member as well.
How often do you meet?
Well, we're just getting started. Actually, on the 11th will be our first meeting, which will be the establishment of what our purpose is and what we'll be doing. And I would say we'll be probably 3 times.
Good.
So then,
So District Advisory Committee is Holwiger. Who else wants to be on that?
If I could drop policy, I would go on that one, but I got like 9 committees right now.
Well, I'm a little, Eric, you and I are short committees.
I can go on that one.
Okay, so Holwiger and Useldinger, but maybe we utilize this one still with, if for some reason, I think, I don't want to say other committees aren't important, but this committee has a lot of this is a newer committee and starting to move some different strategies forward. So maybe we try, at least my wishes would be that we try to get 2 board members to all the meetings. So if one can't make it, reach out to one of your peers and say, hey, Brandon, can you go to this or something? So is the rest of the board in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right, that's all I got. Any other committees? People want to create committees? All right, so Nancy will get the list put together. She'll send that out. Okay,
You're gonna need to move in
Yeah.
second and,
did I motion when I did it?
no,
Okay, oh, we're backwards. All right, I'm gonna move to create the committees as discussed.
I'll second.
Okay, questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries and committees have been established. So with that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
I'd move.
I'll second.
Then you can.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor of adjourning the organizational meeting signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay. Organizational meeting is adjourned. Now I'm going to call to the order the regular meeting of School District 595, and we're just going to go directly into 15.0, we'll call it, and that's going to be communications and reports. So Superintendent Colness, floor is yours.
I'll start off here with enrollment update. You can see, I've talked about the last meeting that we had in 2022, that our enrollment's down significantly from where we were at a year ago, or even especially from 2 years ago. Last month, we did lose 2 students, so we're down to about 1,815 students, K through 12, and, we'll adjust our staff accordingly. We adjusted it when the numbers grew, and we'll adjust it as if they go down. So, we're just gonna have to plan for that, and financially, it's gonna have an impact on the budget, just so you're aware. Financial report tonight, Amanda's not available, so hopefully the next meeting she'll be able to provide that report. And anytime you have a board meeting this early in the month, it's really tough to turn things around and have that finance report ready to go. From the superintendent side, there are no Green Wave recognition. We will make sure that we recognize some students and student athletes at our next meeting. Something just to be aware of. It was in the district update that went out about the football team, where they were the academic state champions for class 3A, which is really, 3.53 GPA for a body of, young people that large is very impressive. So congratulations to the football team on that nice award. Also to Caleb Zedlick, who went down and played in the All-Star game for football, which doesn't happen very often. So congratulations to Caleb. And then this isn't, well, maybe we should have made a Green Wave recognition award, but Lindsay, we got a special award for you. So come on up. Lindsay received a certificate from the Minnesota School Board Association for completing phases 1, 2, 3, and 4. So congratulations. Give Lindsay.
Thank
There
you.
you go. And I'm sure I think they'll recognize members who have done that at the winter workshop as well. So
Mention that. Oh,
you get a trophy?
great.
Oh, so
Front of
as far as the budget goes, Carla, Amanda, myself will be working on a revised budget, and hopefully either by the end of this month or early in February, and we'll be bringing that forward, and we'll put the adjustments in there with our pupil units, and then also, the projected impacts of any kind of settlements we've had with labor groups. The MSBA Winter Workshop, for those of you that are planning to attend, I have a list here, but if we can meet afterwards just to kind of get things squared away with travel plans, that will be January 11th through the 13th down in the Twin Cities. It'll be nice to go because we really haven't been able to do a whole lot of that in the last few years due to, COVID situation. And legislatively, they kicked off today at noon. We're optimistic that we're going to get some increased funding from the state. I did include, and I'm not going to go through it in detail, but MASA's legislative platform, MREA, MSBA, MASA, Ed Minnesota, I would say financially, a lot of them are similar. They're looking at filling the cross subsidy for special education. And we talked about that last year that's about $1.5 million a year for our district alone. And then they're looking at some significant, hoping for some significant increases to the formula. So, they have 5% per year listed. We'll see what happens down there. I heard Governor Wall speak yesterday, and he talked about, supporting public education and financially, and we'll see what all transpires. I predict that we will get increased funding, but we probably are going to look at some things that those dollars are designated to certain things too. So we're hoping for less policy and more money, but we'll see if that all shakes out in the end.
Right.
Okay. And that's all I have as far as my reports go.
All right, and then 15.3 was committee reports. I guess I can give an update on that. We're just about done with the paras. There's a couple things we're still talking about, so that's why it's not in front of the board tonight. What else, Mike?
That would be it.
Yep. So as soon as we get there, everybody will know. Hoping to bring that to the next meeting. 16.0 is the consent agenda. So does anybody want anything pulled out of the consent agenda? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move.
Okay,
Second.
questions or discussion? Okay, before we do that, I want to, I didn't pull it, but I certainly want to recognize Jay Frederland. He started in '92. He's got 30 years of teaching and coaching in East Grand Forks, and then he actually taught in North Dakota prior to that. So certainly thank you to Jay. And then Jeff Hahn, who retired from us in 2017, came back to work for us. Now he's retiring again. So so certainly very thankful to both those employees and the impact that they've had on our students' lives and our staff members. So thank you to them. Since we got a first and a second to accept the consent agenda, no other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 17.0 is opportunities for citizens to speak on items not on the agenda. I did not have any, Superintendent Colas.
There were no requests.
All right, 18.0 is to approve the agenda. I'll move to approve as presented. Who seconded? Okay. All right, all those, questions or discussion? Anyone want to add anything? All right, all those in favor of approving the agenda as presented signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 19.0 is district business. First one's 19.1. That's to approve the continuation of coaching contract for Josh Perkowitz. So by Minnesota statutes, it's 471.88 subdivision 5. I'm not going to read everything, but as a newly elected official and Josh being a head coach and employed with the district already, and now being employed as an elected official, we have to have the whole board here. I'll open a motion here in a second, but the whole board needs to be here. And then we need to vote for him to either continue being a coach or to cease. If for some reason that this motion that I read fails, then certainly that doesn't mean you're not coaching tonight. I shouldn't say this. I'm confident it's not going to fail, but just for if some reason it does fail, then we take action from there and have to follow the administrative policy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move to approve the continuation of coaching contract with Josh Perkowitz.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion? For those of you that don't have it, the statute in front of you, it has to do with the amount of money that the school board member can make
Within a year and still be able to
Yeah.
be an elected official.
Yep.
Yeah, and that dollar amount was just increased significantly
Yeah,
from,
so I mean,
from 8,000 to.
we're lucky
20,000.
that
Yeah.
that it was, otherwise
Yes.
we'd be running into that, but
Mhm.
any other questions or discussion to allow Josh to continue coaching? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, where am I here? 19.2. This is our annual one. It's a resolution directing administration to make recommendations for reductions in programs and positions. We're gonna have to go for a roll call vote here. So this is merely if we need to make adjustments. We're identifying now in the resolution that we're gonna make adjustments. So this is directing staff to continue looking at things. So if enrollment goes down, we may need to make adjustments, or if enrollment goes up, we may need to make adjustments. So I'm gonna move to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Right. Questions or discussion? Roll call, Nancy, please. Yes.
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 All right, resolution carries. 19.3 is to accept donations to the school district. How'd that one get on there? We used to put that in consent? Or no, we moved it
We
now.
moved it to thank people.
Okay, somebody please share the donations. Move the donations, please.
Oh, goodness. All right, I'll read them. I would like to make a motion to accept donations from the following individuals or foundations. A donation from the EGF Ed Fund to New Heights for sensory items for $275. From the East Grand Forks Ed Fund Foundation to New Heights for Wave of Calm for $650. The EGF Education Foundation to New Heights Focus and Calming Materials for $300. EGF Education Foundation to New Heights Handwriting Without Tears, $678. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to New Heights for noise canceling headphones for an amount of $300. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to South Point for Rube Goldberg supplies, $1,539.09. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to South Point for a virtual zoo, $1,400. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to South Point for a solar system, $1,495. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to CMS for graphic novels in the amount of $1,500.
East Grand Forks Education Foundation to CMS for library beautification, $631.59. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to South or Senior High for World Canvas Cricket, $1,500. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to Senior High for pack lighting in the amount of $5,400. From the East Grand Forks Education Foundation to Senior High for English curriculum in the amount of $2,000. East Grand Forks Education Foundation to, what's PS? Post-secondary?
Preschool.
Post-secondary for multicultural classroom materials, $1,809.88. The Northwest Minnesota Arts Council to the Senior High for pack lighting for $3,000. The East Grand Forks Music Boosters to Senior High for pack lighting, $3,600. And various donors to the Senior High for a pack lighting, $115. Total donations are $26,193.56.
I'll second. All right, questions or discussion? Certainly want to thank the foundation, the Arts Council boosters, and then I know we have a couple various donors in there, so certainly appreciate the donations. All those in favor of accepting the donation signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 20, payment of claims and accounts. I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills.
And move to approve checks 124,032 through 124,157 in the amount of $301,272.89, along with EFTs in the amount of $877,170.91 for a total of $1,178,443.80.
I'll second.
All right, any questions on the bills that were uploaded in the board book? All those in favor of paying the bills or the payments signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 21.0 board member comments. Eric,
Nothing tonight. Just welcome to the 2 new members.
Lindsay,
Yeah, same, welcome, and it'll be a good year.
Josh,
I got nothing.
Amanda?
I just look forward to working with the staff, the students in the community. This is exciting.
Lynn?
Just wanted to welcome the new members as well, and thanks for the donations as well. That was a large amount. So thank you to all who donated. And good luck to Mr. Friedland on his retirement. I had him in his second year. So yeah, that's all I have.
The only thing I'd like to echo, welcome to both Josh and Amanda, and please feel free as you guys are going through, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of information. Lean on the rest of us. Don't be afraid to shoot a text or email us or give us, any one of us, a call. We may know the answer, we may not, but certainly here for support. So welcome and congratulations. With that being said, Superintendent, got any closing comments?
No, good luck tonight though. Green Wave playing at home, basketball and hockey against Red River, right? And both in town tonight. So it's great to get back in the buildings with all the kids and the staff today. It was a nice break, and looking forward to wrapping up the first semester, and then we'll be heading downhill. This year's going quickly, so.
All right, 22 is next board meeting is scheduled for February 12th at 5:30 p.m. But
The 12th is a Sunday.
The thing, we'll have that for Sunday listed though, right? So right now it'd be the 23rd of January.
13.
13.
Or,
The 13th, yeah.
oh, so we just have a mistake on here.
Yeah, I made a note.
but like right now, the 23rd of January, because we're designating the 2nd and the 4th Mondays, right? Will be listed if needed. And it's possible it could be needed.
Okay.
So just so you're aware of that.
And then we'll just make a change that the February meeting's the 13th.
February 13th, right?
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussions on adjourning? All those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.